Okay, welcome or welcome back. If you've been here before, I'm Jimmy. This is Jimmy's first gym mini repair. I said it again. This is Jimmy's first gym mini rescue. I'm Jimmy, rescuing the minis. All right, if you remember last time, I put the car up on the little ramps there so that I can change the oil. However, the ground was wet because we had rain for a couple of days. So today, I'm gonna do the oil change on the car. I'm not gonna make you, have you sit and watch that. It's just a basic oil change. There's only two things that are maybe of interest to some people. Before I do that, let me get to the fortune. And according to the fortune, it says, good thoughts come from the heart. Well, that is, to me, self-explanatory. Good thoughts do come from the heart. However, when you have those good thoughts, act on them. So like if you're thinking about somebody, a friend from the past or whatever, call them up, check in on your friends anyway, no matter what. All right, so that's it. Good thoughts come from the heart. And then act on those good thoughts. Anyway, so I'm not gonna let you sit. I'm not gonna, have you watch the oil change. Just know I'm gonna do it, and then I'll drop the car off the ramps and get to changing the strut bearings, which may be a little bit more interest to some people. However, two things or a couple of things here. One, I use a 36 millimeter short socket to release the cap on the oil filter. I don't remember where I got this from. Maybe Mini Mania. It could be FCP Euro, or it could be Out Motoring. I'm not sure. But that's what I got, and I keep it with. So that's that. I'm using Wix filters, and the only other thing that may be of interest, car's a 2004, is the original dipstick. Original. You take care of your stuff and you be careful with them, they will last. Most people, they break, and you end up getting another one stuck down in there, and you can't get the real oil levels and everything. This oil level is great, but it is time for change. But I just want you to see, original dipstick, 2004 with 290,000 some odd miles. Checked a whole bunch of times and changed every 5,000 miles. So I'm gonna change the oil, get the car off the ramps, and show you what I'm gonna do with the strut bearings. Okay. With the oil change under my belt is done. One thing also on the oil change, when you pull your oil filter cap off, always replace that O-ring. You should get a new one with your oil filter, but always replace that. That's just a tip. Okay, now what my idea here is, I'm gonna jack the car up, remove the front wheel, make sure the car is on a jack stand, just the driver's side. I'm only gonna work one side at a time. So the car will be on a jack stand. Then I'll use my jack to jack up the underneath the wheel here, where the wheel would be, using the lower control arm or whatever it is. I can put a piece of wood and jack it up. Could be the brake rotor, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna look under there. But just to compress the spring without the tire on, basically like having the weight of the car compressing the spring. Then I'll use my spring compression tools to see if I can get them on and tighten them up to hold the spring in compression, lift the car a little bit more, and loosen up all of the 13 mil bolts. See if I can drop it from the top, leaving the strut in place, and just pull it out or lean it out, remove the bearing, put the new bearing on. I'll have to reach up under there, but we'll see how it works. If it doesn't work that way, then I'll do it the old-fashioned way and remove the strut. But let me get started on this. Okay, I positioned my jack underneath the lower control arm. There's a bolt right here. It's not gonna hurt anything. I got the wood here, but my plan is to lift the jack to compress the spring a little. But first, I'm gonna remove my inner fender well so that I would have more room with the spring compression tool. And it'll just give me more room to operate. So. Okay, basically removing the inner liner opens up a lot more space so that getting all some of that stuff out of here. Goodness. Anyway, enough space so that once I compress the springs with the jack, I'll be able to, well, I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to use the spring compression tools just to hold it. The mini springs, if you got original equipment, they're not that tight, or you just need to hold them a little bit. They're not that big or not that strong, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it doesn't take a lot of tightening on the spring tool in order to keep the springs compressed. Anyway, so I'm going to jack this up a little bit. Again here. See how the spring is compressing? That's just what I wanted. I'm going to keep watch of the car to make sure I'm not lifting it off the jack. Or not the jack, but off the jack stand. Okay, that should be enough. So let's see if we can get these spring tools on here. Okay, so that didn't work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try something. I'm going to go and jack up the other side of the car, put it on a jack stand, and see if by taking the pressure off and off the whole front end, will that help this one drop down some. So I put the 3 nuts back on top of the strut bearing so that it doesn't fall out or anything like that weird. I just got them hand tight though, not all the way tight, just hand tight. So I'm gonna roll this around the other side and jack it up. Okay, that did it. Believe it or not, let's get in here. I was able to get the pry bar in enough to pry down and get the spring strut loose. So now, there we go. Let me get the... Okay, got it out. Let's get the new one in place here and see if we can pry it, or I might have to squeeze some more here, but we'll try it. Okay, I don't think this is much of a shortcut. I think it's better the way I do it if you can get your bolts loose. So that's what I'm gonna do. I did get the new strut bearing on with the 22 millimeter nut is on and tight. So I got that done, which means I can remove the spring compression tools. And I'm just gonna remove the entire strut the way I normally do, put it back in place and put it together the way I normally do it myself. I just wanted to know if there would be a significant difference. I just don't like the way you have to do things here. So I'm gonna do them the way I normally do them. I'm gonna release the compression on this tool. I've already sprayed some PB Blaster, not sponsored, just what I have on the nuts. I'm going to take apart the sway bar and the pinch bolt that holds the strut in. Pull the strut out, put it up in place like I normally would, hold it up there, and then put it back in place into the knuckle here. So although that's not going to be today because it's getting late, the sun's already setting. So I have some things to do tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna go and clean up and get ready for that. And I'll just get back at this tomorrow. But yeah, so it's not the time saver I thought it might be, but it was worth a shot. But I'll finish this up, you'll see tomorrow. Okay, wait, it's the same day. I just wanted to see if it would come out. And it came out so easy. So I ended up just removing the whole thing. And now I'll put it, hang it up, and get this back together. I think I'm still gonna do that tomorrow. But I can remove the tool here. Sun's in my eyes. It's the next day, and I got the other side completely done. I still have to put the fender liner back on and the tire back on, but I'm gonna change this one while I still got pretty decent daylight. If you remember yesterday, I was gonna try to do it without removing the strut from the knuckle, but it's just more work doing it that way. And although I tried it's not worth it for me. So I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way, or the way I've always been doing it, by removing the sway bar end link and taking the actual strut out, replacing the cap, putting the strut back. So I tried to change it, but it wouldn't work. So since I'm a man and I can change, If I have to, I guess. Shout out Red Green. I'm gonna do it the same old way I've always been doing it. So let's get this side done before the sun goes down, and I'll get the inner fender liner on the other side back on. And but I won't have to take this one off because there's no need. Anyway, let's get this done. Since that strut tower was mushroomed, I straightened it out. It's flat now, but it made me think of something. And in the storeroom, I had these plates that I got a long time ago. And they're supposed to be, they fit on top of the bearing like that. And then all of this goes underneath. And that helps distribute the weight of the car on this plate and not all the way on the strut mount top. Boy, can't even talk these days. But anyway, so this is one of those things. I remembered I had them. Since they're in here, I'm gonna go ahead on and put it on. And that means that I gotta loosen up the other side and see if I can snake this one on. They're directional. If you can see, there's a rounded end and a kind of flat end. The flat end goes toward the outside of the fender. So if I was putting it on here, the flat end would go outboard. Same way on the driver's side, the flat end goes outboard. Rounded end goes inboard. So I'm gonna put this one, stick it over here. And it's one of those things I didn't think about it yesterday when I started this job, but by hammering this down made me think about it. So I'm going to continue assembly. Okay, the passenger side is complete. Changed the strut bearing, and also you can see the silver plate in there. That's that extra plate that helps keep it the top from mushrooming. I put it on here. Only thing I got to do on this side is put the wheel on and torque those bolts. And on the other side, the driver's side here in the US, I still got to put the inner fender well on, but I had to drop down the strut enough to get the plate inside. And let's get you a light. There you go. You can see there's a plate and the strut. So that should help keep it from mushrooming. All right, let's get this reassembled. Okay, got that done. Like I said, if I would have saw those plates, if I would have thought about it, I would have got them at the same time, just put them on the bearing, stuck it up there, and I would have been done the first time around. But, you know, like they say, you like it so much, you do it twice, right? So, anyway, all I got to do now, I got the wheels on, and all I got to do is take it off the jack stands. I'm going to drive it around. I probably should go get an alignment, and I probably will within, you know, after the holidays, because I don't want to schedule anything between now and Thanksgiving. Oh, and by the way, this video comes out the day before, so happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Hope you have a fun, safe, family-filled Thanksgiving, and don't go overboard on Black Friday. Don't go overboard. So anyway. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna drop this thing down, park it in its normal spot, and call this one done. Thank y'all for watching. I've got some other things to do. I got a solenoid to replace on the Subaru, the CVTs. They're kind of famous for that. So I don't know when I'm gonna get it done. It'll probably be after Thanksgiving as well. So stay tuned. For those of you who come in and check out the Subaru stuff, I've got that. Got to do that. Anyway, so that's it for this now, and we'll see what we do the next time. Thank y'all for watching. Come back and visit again. And for those of you who comment, subscribe, and like, thank you very much. I never usually ask for it, or very rarely, but if you can, comment, subscribe, like it. Hit the little notification. Every Thursday, 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time, a new video will come out. All right, see you guys.